Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Segler here and welcome back to our video. So I'm going to review the Injustice 2 Mobile tier list. I like to review this every couple of months and talk about what's changed and about new characters. I'm going to quickly go over explaining how we're going to make this tiers work, because I've already taken the liberty of putting one character in each tier. That is because it's easier to explain. So SS tier, absolutely strongest characters in the game. S tier, solid character with optimal conditions, can get close enough to doing 2 billion damage by himself. And by close, I don't mean 2 billion damage exactly, because that's kind of the SS tier, but very close, like 1.5, 1.6 or something like that. A tier is gonna be the characters that are more like a part of the team, which adds to the team, but they're not necessarily mandatory to the team. Like this man, you can drop him in every team. For example, Black Adam is gonna deal his percentage health damage and he's gonna be out. So like that's A tier. And from B tier is where Arena, Champions Arena, and Soul Raids collide. In this tier, I would like to have characters that are good in Soul Raids, but not good enough for the first 3 tiers. And also, I'm gonna start putting characters that are very good in Arena and Champions Arena. You're not gonna see Arena and Champions Arena characters above the B tier, because I value that personally far less than Raids and Soul Raids. So from B tier is where we start with the Arena and Champions Arena characters. And the other tiers are kind of self-explanatory. Like this is sometimes useful. For example, Ace Green Arrow. You have a lot of ways to make the enemy not get to super move, and in some situations you need that, like for example phase 4 in League Raids or some fights in Soul Raids, but that's very situational. But for that you have Ace Green Arrow, and he's gonna be very good at that. Then we have the D tier, which is Nightwing, for example. Kind of does something, but not really. And then E tier is gonna be the bottom of the barrel, where we have characters that literally just don't do anything. Occupy space in the roster just by existing. And over here I have the Batman Ninja team. So the Batman Ninja team is currently bugged. If they were not bugged, and if they worked as good as they did previous to the last 2 updates that got them messed up, they would probably be somewhere around here for the free-to-play side of things. And for the pay-to-win side of things, they would be at far better, because we do have some difference in tiers here, because this is going to not account any of the artifacts that you need to pay to get, while this is going to account for all the resources in the game. So we're going to go back to this whenever there's a character that is going to be a bit better if you have those pay-to-win artifacts that work well on them, and I'm going to also put them here. So if it says better for pay to win, it's most likely a tier higher than you're going to see it here. And if it's far better for pay to win, then it's going to be 2 tiers higher, or something like that. But yeah, for now, Batman team is bugged because they are just not working. The passive of Robin is no longer stacking. They are not functional at the moment. They are in theory not bad, like generally speaking, when you think about how they should work, but it's just a very weird situation. Okay, so Titanium Rocketman is gonna go into the B tier because he's amazing in Arena Champions Arena. Armor Pierce, Power Drain, Heal, all you need. Arkham Knight Batman, my boy, is gonna be all the way up in either S or A. I feel like A tier. The thing with him is he's a pretty good support for Batman the Drowns, but so is John Stewart Green Lantern, doing exactly the same thing as he does. And John Stewart Green Lantern is kind of easier to get than he is, so you're not very likely to use him. And if you have both of them, you still have other options. You can use classic Wonder Woman with Batman the Drowns, you can use Robin King, you can use Batman Who Laughs. There are a lot of options. Well, this man is a good option, and that's kind of the main reason why he's not in the B tier and he's in the A tier. For his contribution to Raids and Soul Raids, it's not like this team can't function without him. So I'll keep that in mind. For example, Entangling Poison Ivy will share whatever spots Last Evoker and EPI get in the tier, because they can't function without her. But Batman the Drowned can function just fine without him, and he's not even the best choice, but he's good in that regard. We have over here Armored Superman, I guess. D tier kind of does something, because he's got a bit of a shield, I guess. Atrocitus will go to C tier because he can be a situational support character. He's not the best support for any team, but if you don't have a good support for that team, Atrocitus is there to have your back and give you a bit of power steal on tagging, a bit of a reflective shield. There's one of the Silver Wonderments that's going to be in the E tier. Then we have Gold Black Adam. So I'm gonna put Gold Black Adam at B tier, and it's the thing that I was talking about. He's not here for his arena performance. He is here because he is a good budget damage dealer, and you're gonna eventually replace him once you have more teams and more stuff in the game. But with Puppet of Zatanna, he's gonna do work. Trust me on that one. He's definitely gonna do work for you. Silverban is going to be in the C tier, kind of same deal as Atrocitus. Is not really the best at buffing anything, but hey, if you need a support character and you're out of support characters, he's going to have your back, give you a bit of damage on basic hits, a bit of crit chance if you're missing some. Blue Beetle, D tier I guess, is kind of a Nightwing, but a bit more weird. Manta is going to be in the... It's also a weird situation. I feel like S tier. Though the thing with Manta is, for the free-to-play side of things, you have a 7-star Manta with a Raven ready to go. That team is gonna one-shot almost anything in the game. With Dark Melkor, it's a free-to-get artifact. It's gonna one-shot kind of anything in the game, unless there's some annoying Chaos Stagnant or something like that. But to get to that point, you need a lot of investment. A lot of investment in Manta, because he's star rating hungry. He will need that star rating to perform well for you. So I feel like S tier, but if you wanna keep the fact that he is not worth going for first and he's gonna waste a lot of resources, I guess you could argue him being in the A tier. But for the damage alone, for the performance, for the versatility, S tier, I think. Blade Master Robin, D tier, I guess, is good at combo building, though nobody cares really. Batman Who Laughs is all the way in the, I don't know, maybe S tier. Because the thing is, I gave Deathstroke S tier for his percentage health damage, right? Currently, Batman Who Laughs is going to have a synergy with Twin Blades. And it's a pretty weird synergy, because Black Adam has one too. Black Adam is just gonna do his percentage hull damage faster, while Batman Who Laughs is gonna do it faster and do more of it. This man is taking half of the enemy's total health in one passive activation, and that's just insane. And while Deathstroke can do more than that, he takes the whole fight. This man does it in seconds, so I feel like because of that synergy, he kind of deserves S tier. Next up we have Bat Ninja Batman, D only for the special one because it's a hazard that blinds people and follows them around. Red, D tier, I guess he does something, he's decent in Arena and Champions Arena. Harley, D tier, I guess, she buffs Batman Ninja characters, giving them a bit of attack just by being in your roster, though it's a very negligible amount. No, I'm just gonna put the whole Batman Ninja team in bugged. I'm not gonna put Batman because him was always bad. You never wanted to use him with Robin or anything like that. So the fact that Robin is bugged does not affect this man because you didn't care about him anyway. But for those characters, and the Lord Joker is a character that's usually used as a replacement damage dealer for Bat Ninja Catwoman, and he can't do much because Robin is bugged for him as well. Brainiac, my boy Brainiac. So my boy Brainiac is gonna go all the way in the A tier. I feel like that's a decent place for Brainiac. He's a good support character for legendary characters, though for the pay to win side of things, the legendary characters with Brainiac are just gonna take you a bit far, not that far. However, we need to address this side of the tier list. Brainiac is far better for the pay to win side of things, because as soon as you add the Beta Club into the equation, into the mix, you're gonna get some insane results from Brainiac. And Manta, I guess it's a bit better for the pay to win side of things, because he does very well with the Joker as Batarangs. But yeah, back to the free to play side of things. Classic Batman, I guess, D tier. He does something in Arena and Champions Arena, though he's not great. Captain Cold, E tier. I don't like him, he's a very bland character. Cheetah, E tier. John Constantine. So my boy Johnny, the last release character, where do you put his ass? Also, I'm sorry for having kind of a different image for him, but it's fine. You're gonna be able to discern who this man is. So I feel like he doesn't even deserve A tier, to be honest. He's to the point where he performs a bit like a budget damage dealer, drawing a lot of necessary resources. Look, I have a 3-star John Constantine, and I might not have done too much to use. I mean, I've done everything to use him, but I might be expecting too much from a 3-star character, but I've watched our videos of him being maxed out. He just doesn't do that much. I'm gonna put him at B tier because at the moment I really feel like he's performing as good as a budget damage dealer, sadly. Classic Superman, C tier because he sometimes also reduces the defense of the enemy. Also, actually, we could put the whole classic team, or at the very least those two guys, or not really. They do very well in Arena when they are together. However, Classic Wonder Woman deserves a bit of a higher tier. I'm gonna put her in the A tier because she's an amazing support character. You're just gonna benefit a lot from that core damage. Yeah, I feel like I'm fine with this. Classic Wonder Woman A tier, Classic Superman B tier, and Classic Batman C tier. Darkseid's gonna be B tier because he's absolutely insane in Arena and Champions Arena, but useless in raids and soul raids. Dark Supergirl E tier, I don't like her. Her passive is just counterproductive because you can't chain a hit from it. Mirror Green Lantern C tier, he's yet again kind of the same deal as Atrocitus. Enraged Bane E tier, he's garbage. Entangling Poison Ivy. Kind of conflicted on giving. Yeah, I'm gonna give the League of Anarchy SS tier. The whole League of Anarchy is gonna be also in SS tier. They're just absolutely insane, and I was thinking that they need quite a lot of resources to get to the point where they do 2 billion damage by themselves, but kind of so does Batman the Drown, so I feel like it's fair. Firestorm, E tier, I hate him. Okay, D tier, because once in my existence I've used his passive, which gives you dodge resistance for the entire team. Flora Poison Ivy, I'm gonna put her at C tier, because she's pretty decent in Arena and Champions Arena, but I don't feel like she's justifiably B tier. Golden Armor Wonder Woman, C tier. She's good in Arena and Champions Arena, but I feel like she's far worse than Collector or Darkseid. Like, don't you dare put her in the same tier as them for the Arena and Champions Arena performance, because they outperform her. Hawkman, C tier? Question mark? I don't even know if he's worth C tier. I'm just not using this man. Black Adam is doing fine without him. I have no reason to use him. Until we get the third Flawed Justice teammate, I don't think I'll ever use Hawkman. And that's just the way it is at the moment. And even after that, I might still not use Hawkman because we saw what happened with the Justice League Dark team. This man, Hellboy, I feel like D tier or C tier, I guess, because he can be a good tank for fights that have hazards on the ground because he heals from them. If you're like a new player and you don't have tanks really built. Horrific Scarecrow, also C tier because he does something. He reduces the enemy's attack and increases their power cost. You might use him from time to time. Ash D tier, he kind of does something, but not really, and it's only Arena and Champions Arena related. Aquaman, Justice League Aquaman. So I feel like Justice League Aquaman is gonna be all the way up in the C tier, and I am gonna explain in a second why. So we have the Justice League team here. Let's just grab them. I'm gonna put them all the way up in the A tier because they do pretty damn well with Twin Blades. And as more people are gonna get higher level Twin Blades, we're gonna maybe see a comeback of the Justice League team. And Flash loves the Twin Blades. Why don't I put Aquaman all the way up with them? Though, because he gives them Armor Pierce. And if you have Armor Pierce, you're gonna activate the Twin Blade every single time you land a hit. Because he's still not worth using. because you're literally better off rolling talents and getting armor pierce on talents than wasting a team slot for somebody that only gives you armor pierce. Instead of that, I could have classic Wonder Woman increasing my crit damage cap, for example. So even though he's convenient to use in that regard, I still feel like the way to go is putting armor pierce on the talents of Flash to have a free teammate slot. Just like Batman, D tier, I guess. He gives a shield to the Justice League team in Arena. He does something. Just like Superman, B tier. He's good in Arena and Champions Arena, but not great in Raids and Soul Raids. He gets outperformed by his gold teammates that is far easier to get in gear up than he is, so I feel like he definitely doesn't deserve a higher tier. John Stewart Green Lantern is gonna also make it in the A tier. Again, he buffs Batman the Drowned, and that's amazing, but that's all he does, and you're not always gonna see him with Batman the Drowned, because that team fluctuates a lot. Kim Flint's Aquaman is gonna go all the way up in the S tier. Again, Nora Snow Globe, the same logic as Deathstroke. If you play it well, you can do a ton of damage with very low investment on that character. Nightmare Batman, I guess, C tier. Can be good in Champions Arena, very annoying to fight. Last of Joker also gonna go in the A tier with League of Anarchy. He's a bit more convenient and Harley to use whenever you can't stun the enemy target and you just drop a Raven in there and he still does 2 billion damage. I could put Joker in S tier, actually. Yeah, I think that's a bit more fair, because he has a lower damage output than Harley, and it's very hard for him to get to 2 billion damage. Martian Manhunter, C tier. Kind of a weird legendary. He's decent in Arena and Champions Arena. He's a decent combo builder, but he's not mandatory or extremely good in either one of them. Multiverse Armored Supergirl, I feel like B tier. She is very good in Arena and Champions Arena, and also is a good budget damage dealer, and Flash goes along with her. Wherever she goes, you literally build your Multiverse Armored Wonder Woman so that she needs Flash in the team. Mr. Freeze is going to be all the way up in the... S or A? I feel like A, and I feel like it might be reasonable to drag Manta back in A, because it's the same deal as Manta. As free-to-play, you're gonna use this man with Puppet of Zatanna, and he's gonna require star rating, he's gonna require years, so it's gonna take a long ass time to get your ass there. If everything on this list is maxed out, you have everything in the game at 7 stars, but you just don't have the pay-to-win things, then you can just do this, but I feel like it's far more relatable to a lot of people, because 90% of people who own Mr. Freeze and Manta don't have them at above 5 stars, most likely. Also, it's time we go back here on the pay-to-win side of things and make some changes. She's better for the pay-to-win side of things, because pay-to-win benefits a bit more at points from crit damage because of the Beta Club synergy with that. Also, anything else? Yeah, Mr. Freeze, that's what we were looking for. Mr. Freeze is going to be far better for the pay-to-win side of things because he's got the Beta Club synergy. Now, back for the free-to-play side of things. Catwoman, I think this is Gold Catwoman, A tier. But Sigval, she gives you more gold from operations, yeah. Whatever. Multiverse Black Lightning. Gotta give him C tier, because I really like him in Arena and Champions Arena. He's pretty strong. Batwoman D tier, I guess she does something. Multiverse Mr. Freeze. Not Batwoman Drowned, to clarify. Multiverse Batwoman. Multiverse Captain Cold is gonna be D tier as well. Multiverse Green Arrow is gonna be C tier, I guess, because I'm sometimes using him for the passive that gives me dot on the third special, for me to be able to trigger the Puppet of Multiverse Armored Supergirl. Okay, so here we have Multiverse Supergirl. C tier also because I use her with them in Arena, because she gives them a lot of tankiness. Multiverse White Canary, D tier, I guess she does something, but not much. Mythic Wonder Woman, C tier. Armor Pierce Special 1, Reflective Shield, gets attack when you kill targets. Good stuff in Arena and Champions Arena. Predator Batman is gonna be, I feel like, B tier. Could try to justify A tier though, because he's a very versatile character. He's very good in Arena and Champions Arena, can be a budget damage tier, no, not a very good one, and can be a support character for both Silver Banshee and the League of Anarchy team. Power Girl is gonna be, for me, all the way up in A tier easily. Same with, where's my boy Dr. Fate? There we go. It's simple. You reduce your power cost by 2 power bars, and there's never gonna be a point in Injustice Mobile meta where that's not gonna be needed by at least one team. So they are just supports that are gonna be here forever, no matter the teams that are gonna be the meta teams. Art Super Gold 8 tier. Absolute garbage. Primal Swamp Thing 8 tier. Yeah, guys, the memes. He's SS tier. We need to make a different tier for him. Add row above. There we go. This is the gods tier, and there's Primal Swamp Thing. Now, I'm not gonna leave it like this because some dumbass, even though you kind of deserve your fate at that point, some dumbass gonna look at this video, gonna skip all the way to the end, gonna see something up there, not gonna need any explanation, and gonna start building him, and then it's gonna come back to me telling me that I'm stupid and he built something because of me. But yeah, Raiden, I feel like B tier because he's extremely good in Arena and Champions Arena because of that third special. Raven is gonna be another SS tier character, and honestly, a bit of a spoiler, I think we're done with the SS tier characters. That's the full SS tier. The strongest of the strongest characters in the entire game. Robin King, S tier, I feel like. As he's got the percentage hull damage that he can do, and on top of that, he really buffs Batman the Jones. Now, you might be at the point where you don't need Robin King anymore, and she does the 2 billion damage anyway, but if you're anywhere below that, he's gonna be great, and he also removes crit resistance from bosses. He's a good character since they fixed him, and he actually gives you the crit damage buff. Though not the low. He's kind of the best support for the best character in the game. Kind of think of it like that. Red Hood is gonna be in the C tier, increases the duration of the fight, which can be good, though you're not gonna see him use that often. Silver Aquaman D tier, he does something, I guess. Silver Banshee, I feel like also A tier, because now we got Black Adam with Silver Banshee puppets, and this team actually is amazing. I would argue that this team is going to race to the level of Mr. Freeze team or Manta team for the free-to-play side of things, unless you're using Raven with Manta or with Mr. Freeze. Like, those guys solo damage dealers without Raven are gonna be kind of on the level of Black Adam Silver Banshee, and I think that's very strong as Silver Banshee now. I'm not sure if this is silver or gold Black Canary. I think it's gold, though it's trash either way. Batman, D tier, he does something, I guess. Another Catwoman, E tier. Cyborg, he reaches health while he's out of combat, so that can be useful, I guess, in Arena and Champions Arena. We have Silver Deadshot, E tier. He's absolute garbage. Speed Force Flash, I'm gonna put him in the C tier because he's a situational support character. You might need, in some situations, I'm not gonna go in depth explaining because that's gonna take too long, but in some situations where you might need some fast attack chance, even though usually you don't need fast attack chance on that character, he's gonna be useful for that. Silver Green Arrow D tier, I guess. Grodd Silver E tier. Green Lantern is gonna be all the way up in the B tier. He's gonna be very, very convenient for Manta or whoever you want to use him with, because he gives you that shield that guarantees combo interruptions, because you can't get staggered while that is active. The new Shazam, it's even worth C tier, brother. D tier question mark. Look. We need to make some adjustments here. Also, Constantine is a bit better for the pay-to-win side of things because he also does well with the Joker as veterans. Anything else, King is a bit better for the pay-to-win side of things because of Beta Club King. Though he's very good for the free-to-play side of things too, don't get me wrong. Anything else, that Raven is better because she can use Beta Club herself. And Shazam is better, but it's... Look, you should take a look at like Shazam like this. All he does is get himself a damage buff. That damage buff is, if you are below 5 stars, lower than the King damage buff, and no matter the star rating, he's far less convenient to pop that damage buff than King. That's all he does, gets a damage buff. And for the free-to-play side of things, you don't care. You legit don't care about this character. He's absolute garbage. I don't want to see him, I don't want to play as him. And for the pay-to-win side of things, you use him, you put the beta club on him or Jokerize batterings, and by the end of the fight, you ask yourself, why didn't I just use King? Because he's so much more convenient to play. I hate this character, I'm sorry. Sorry for the rant, I just hate him. D tier. Harley E tier. Yeah, I guess you could argue, he's worth C tier, or maybe he's worth B tier. I don't care. In my heart, he's D tier, easily. Shazam, the gold Shazam. I like the gold Shazam. The gold Shazam is great. The B tier, amazing in Arena and Champions Arena. Sir Robin, D tier. He does something, I guess. Silver Scarecrow, garbage. Solstice Darker Fate, garbage. The Suicide Squad, D tier. Like, look. They are amazing. Okay, let's give them C tier. They are amazing in Arena and Champions Arena. They are absolutely amazing in Arena and Champions Arena. But you can't ask me to get 2 legendary characters and then open chests for the gears of 2 legendary characters only to have them used in Arena and Champions Arena. If they had challenges and you could get them in their gears for kind of free, if given time, they would be B tier, easily. But nah, bro, I'm just not touching them. Currently, I'm missing only 3 characters in the game. Those are Harley, Enchantress, and Superman, because I simply have absolutely no incentive to go ahead and buy them. And I think for that reason, I could get Superman down here, because you're never ever gonna have a reason to try and get this man. With Darkseid, you might drop him from a chest, and if you're stupid enough to try and get him as like your first character, even though that's not the best thing you can do, you at least get his gears from the achievement, so he doesn't need an additional 40k gems to try and get himself gears. Superman, Armored Superman, D tier, I guess. He can be annoying if you face him in CA. Silver Swamp Thing, D tier. Actually, A tier is garbage. Starfire, D tier, I guess. She can heal a bit. Silver Flash, D tier, he's kind of the same thing as Speed Force Flash, gives a bit of fast attack chance, however, he's worse at that. We have Silver Joker, E tier. Sub-Zero, D tier, he used to be very good spamming the freezing effect, but you can't do that anymore because the enemy blocks after they get out of the freeze. Silver Black Canary, E tier. Elder Swamp Thing. It's a very weird situation with Elder Swamp Thing. I guess I'm gonna put him a tier below Constantine. I played the Zatanna, Constantine, and Elder Swamp Thing, right? And the best thing about that team was the fact that this man gave them constant shields, so I didn't have to worry about combo interrupting or anything. I had shields that were big enough and that were pretty much preventing me from getting staggered by the enemy, and I was absolutely walking all over the enemy. The Justice Dark team feels very good to play, feels very fun to play, but they just don't pull the numbers. And when he's a very good support character for a kind of average towards not that great character, he's not gonna go far, but I really like Swamp Thing. And I really like Constantine and Zatanna. They just don't pull the numbers, man. They just don't. I'm sorry. And Zatanna herself, since we talked about this, is gonna be all the way in the S tier as well. She's gonna do percentage hull damage, and she's gonna also buff your characters, and I think that's great. Silver Wonder Woman, E tier. Telekinetic Growth, E tier. Reverse Flash, I feel like B tier. I don't feel like he's gonna follow Silver Banshee all the way up in the A tier, because now she's rolling with Black Adam. But he's kind of the staple combo builder. If you want the combo builder, though you don't want the combo builder that often nowadays, Reverse Flash is going to be your best option. Unbreakable Cyborg, D tier, because he revives, he has a stun, he has a power drain, he has some stuff going. Vixen is going to be all the way up in the B tier for the free-to-play side of things. Situational support doesn't do that much, but it's honest work. It's not much, but it's honest work. And the last one is gonna be the Gold Wonder Woman, E tier, I guess. She's got Armor Pierce Special 1 and the Super Shields. Yeah, D tier. Okay, so let's see if there's any more clarifications to do on the pay-to-win side of things. Things that might differ. Nope. I guess Vixen is a bit better for the pay-to-win side of things. Like up her tier. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the tier list. That's all the 110 characters in Injustice Mobile tier list. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. This, yet again, is my personal opinion. I'm just trying to help you guys out, figure out what to try and get next, or what to build, or whatever. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!